to a video here on my channel. It's Justin Crypto here, presenting you the facts you will just get here just in crypto. I'm gonna analyze the market today for you guys to see whether we are bullish or bearish. According to many people in Bitcoin currently, we will repeat what we did in 2017 and come down for another big dump into the levels of 17,000. We will break down if that is realistic here or not, and we will have a look and see what actually is more likely or likely to happen according to my personal opinion based on the facts that I see in the charts. So we will start with the dollar. Why? Because the dollar is obviously the biggest antagonist of Bitcoin. So usually when the dollar rises, Bitcoin comes down. When the dollar falls, Bitcoin goes up. So looking at the dollar on the daily, we can see that during the whole bear market, obviously we had a huge and massive rise of the dollar, followed by a very, very sharp rejection here to the downside. This usually shows you that the general trend, once you have such a heavy move into one direction, is generally down. The trend should be generally down on the dollar. Pulling out a trend line right here, okay, using it here, we can see that what happened to the dollar is that the dollar actually broke out, came back and confirmed resistance. And actually if the dollar would break these levels here, okay, let's say those levels here, or we can even make it a bit more safe and say, okay, if the dollar breaks this level here, we are 100% going to rise and at least test the 0.786 from this whole setup here in the dollar before going lower. So we would still be very bearish until the end of the year, until the end of December, to then eventually put in a double top and come down and then be bullish with Bitcoin when the dollar then finally falls. This is one scenario. Another scenario that I want to show you guys is if we pull out the fibs here from the top to this area again, we can see that the room to the fibs is huge. Okay, so the general most likely scenario is that the dollar is still going to rise and crypto is still going to go down. But if I take a closer look into the fractal that we have here and I measure the fibs from the highest point, which is here, to the lowest point, and I want to see where did we retrace to from this level, I'm gonna measure once again, and we are gonna see that we are today, speaking of exactly today, we are exactly off on the 786 fib of this whole move here. Okay, so this means there is still a good chance that the dollar might reverse at this point and then come down already, and this would definitely be bullish for crypto. Personal opinion, I think it's 50-50. I don't think it is 100% given that dollar will retrace to those highs that I showed you, to the 0.8707 here. I think it is very likely that we might just come and go down from here, okay, which then would put in something like a triple top. You could make the case that this is then a clean M. Once you then break the neckline, you then go down and crypto then really goes up. But so far to the dollar, so either we turn around here or we retrace to those areas. This would be bullish for crypto, this would be very bearish. Looking at the stock market, Nasdaq, what is the Nasdaq doing? People are screaming for the biggest crash and so on and so on. Here I really have to say I don't think that a crash is coming. Looking at what kind of crash we had here in the stock market, we already had a 34%, which is a heavy crash, followed by another 30% crash, and now as you can see we are creating a higher low structure. At least as we speak here we are creating higher lows, and to me this also looks like a beautiful W pattern forming, which then breaking this neckline would send the Nasdaq way higher. So I don't think NASDAQ is going to go lower. NASDAQ looks good to me. This is a bit of a bullish sign. Keep it in mind. S&P 500. What is happening? Looking at the FIBs, okay, looking at the retracement levels. I have to refresh this real quick, guys. I don't know what is going on here. Looking at the FIBs, where the S&P 500 can retrace to before or after then dropping, we are exactly at the 0786 fib. So this is the level where things, as I showed you, usually retrace to before they then turn around and come down. If this is the case, guys, this would be super bearish for the stock market, for Bitcoin, for whole crypto. Why? Because then obviously the S&P would put in something like a double top, come down probably again, come up then again, and just be in a long-term downtrend, which at the end of the day obviously can be something like a bull flag and break out later on, but we would have a very long time just sideways down, okay? Do I think this is likely? To be honest, no. I personally think that we are gonna make new highs in the S&P, that we are gonna see this week the market even breaking this structure, and we are able to go higher than this point. Why do I think so? Just simply because the market structure that we have formed on the bottom is actually very, very nice, very, very clean, a beautiful market structure here, where you have something like a double top coming in, like double bottom, 1, 2, beautiful. You come back a couple of times and you then slowly grind up. So, and also if I look at this structure here, you can see on the smaller scale the way that structure is forming. This, for example, in my opinion, is a beautiful W. So it is not given everything. That's the beauty about trading, right? So we don't just trade based on what we think. We're just gonna do what is gonna happen. So if the S&P actually is not able to break the level of 4,534 and is going to come down here, then obviously this is very bearish. I would go short on my positions. But if the S&P breaks this high, confirms it, and even breaks those highs, well, this is super bullish, and I think this is the likelier scenario, just to be 100% frank with you guys. Now, as you can see, a glimpse of an eye, I'm already a bit more bullish than bearish. Now, looking at Bitcoin, I want to define a couple of levels. So, first level I want to define is the actual differentiation between the ultimate bottom area. Okay, so this is obviously the ultimate bottom area, and this would be, let's say, the middle range. All right, so I would like to say that this is something like the middle range, and this is the, yeah, let's call it bullish area and ultra bullish area. So the ultimate bottom area, what has happened? Bitcoin slowly grinded out of it, and as you can see, this level is super relevant. Why? It got confirmed here, it was support, then we came back up. Once it broke, we had a heavy dump to our actual low. In my opinion, this is the real low. This was caused by Sam Bankman, but this is fine. Anyway, I think this is the ultimate bottom area. We have this level to be very, very relevant, very, very important. So we had it as support, then we broke it. We had a huge dump. We had it as resistance. Once we broke it, we had a massive pump out of it, and then we confirmed it, pushed back up, and now we are on it again. So the question really is the ultimate bottom area going to be re-entered, or is it going to hold? Okay, this is the question here. And many people in crypto are actually saying that Bitcoin has done the same thing as in 2017, where it shoots up out of the bottom and then has to create a new low. I don't think so. Let me tell you why. And for that, I have the Pi cycle top indicator. Looking at 2017 and its bottom, what you can see is that Bitcoin pumped out of the bottom straight in an aggressive way and reached the green line. Okay, remember that. It reached the green line and then dropped down again below the orange line to then finally start the bull market. In 2013, 14, what happened is that Bitcoin pumped out of the bottom and then came almost to the green line and came back down, and then came actually to the green line and came back down to the orange. So as you can see, it's like a game of going between the lines, okay? Now, I told you in 2017 we came up to the green line and then we dipped hard. But looking at where we are right now, guys, we have not touched or reached anything close to the green line as of yet, okay? This gives me an indication that the likelier move to happen is the move to the upside, to actually claim or climb up to the green line, which is currently sitting around $45,000. It might sound a bit crazy to you guys right now, but I do really think that we are slowly gonna grind out of here and then come up to this line, because as you see, people are calling for the dump, but market structure looks way different. We haven't touched that green line as we have to. And in my opinion, the whole way that the pi cycle top is presenting itself, it really looks more like a 2014, 15, 16 move coming than a 2017 move. And this is why, because the bottom that we actually have for Bitcoin back in the days here on the index chart was a clear double bottom. Okay, in 2017 we didn't have it. We just had like a normal single bottom, and then we came up and we had to create a double bottom. So then we had the double bottom. All right, so this is our double bottom. Cool. But this time I think we are mimicking what we did in 2013. So looking at the price action, I think that this is already a double bottom. All right, so this is a double bottom, and we are slowly grinding up here to that 45k area, and then eventually come down, and then somewhere around the halving, guys, we are at those 44k, 45k areas. This is, by the way, the fair value of Bitcoin at the halving, which makes a lot of sense. And then at some point we then gonna rise. If we reach 100k, I don't know. I don't really think so. It just wouldn't. It just would make sense not to reach it. But yes, guys, I am generally more bullish, especially because of the fact of the green line here on the pi cycle. And another thing that I think is very important for you guys to see is the stochastic RSI on the weekly. The stochastic RSI on the weekly, guys, is in peak bear. It is in peak bear since the 21st of August, since we had this massive drop, and we are in peak bear. This means when we are in peak bear, you see price goes down. We are in peak bear, price goes down. Peak bear, price usually goes down. We are in peak bear and price is not managing to break down. Okay, guys, ask yourself why. Once this curls up again, okay, this is when price shifts. So I would say that the bears, to push price down, they have maybe another 1 to 2 weeks to really do something. But if not, we are already in peak bear. When stochastic RSI on the weekly is going to shift up, we are going to go up. And now something that can be taken with a grain of salt, which is a bit more like a fun analysis, but I think is a cool one, a very, very cool one to do, and I really want to show it to you, is actually if we go ahead and we go to the 4-hour candles, guys, and we go to the ultimate bottom area that Bitcoin had. All right, this was in November 22, the bottom area. And we copied it, okay? And we copy it from the drop, and we copy it until it has pumped out of there. Guys, it's making it a bit shorter, all right? And seeing if it fits what we are currently doing for Bitcoin, I do think that there is definitely similarity within this move. As I said, take this with a grain of salt. This is very speculative. Those things usually, or 95% of the cases, don't work like that. But if I have it like this, for example, okay, and we make it matching here, guys, you can clearly see that it is kind of mimicking dump 1, 2. Here this was mirrored, so here it came down, here it came up. Okay, cool. This was the same, this huge pump thing, and then coming down, rolling over, coming down one more time, and then pumping out. So pay attention to the next couple of days. Pay attention to the 10th of September. This can be taken with a grain of salt. I do think that we left the ultimate bottom area and that we are gonna hold it. I am more bullish than bearish. This is just my personal opinion, especially based on what I see in the pi cycle indicator. So yes, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Slightly more bullish than bearish. Both is possible. This is the beauty of trading. Once we actually close, let's say, a daily candle below here, you can go heavy short and there will be a safe go trade. And if we actually manage to pump out of this area here at some point, then obviously we are all good to go bullish again. I think I explained well why I am more bullish than bearish, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like, stay tuned. I'm gonna do more of those videos very soon, and nail it, guys. Justin Crypto out. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.